Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be doing certain programming questions. So I'll show you the first question. I'll share my screen and show you the first question. You may copy it quickly. Write a program in Java. I hope you all can see the screen. Write a program in Java to accept two numbers from the user and find the HCF and LCM. Use a function that will return the HCF of both the numbers. You know the formula of HCF and LCM? HCF into LCM equals to product of the two numbers. So if the function is returning HCF, then LCM can be calculated using this formula. LCM equals to A into B upon HCF. So note down the question quickly, then we'll discuss the solution. Can you all see the question clearly on my screen? Write in the chat box and answer. Okay, everybody can see. So let us look at the program here. First, I have written import java.util.asterisks because I'll be using the scanner class. Next, I have created a class LCM. This is the function which we'll be discussing later. First, let us go to the main function because the execution starts from main. Public static void main string args, then the scanner class object. Then we have declared an object of the LCM class because we'll be calling the function using the object of the class. Next, we are entering two numbers in the variables m and n. And we are calling the function using the object. This is the function call ob.func. And m and n are being passed as parameters. So m and n are called as actual parameters here. This is the function call statement. The function is going to return the HCF, which will be stored in the variable k. Now the product of the original numbers m and n is being stored in p, and the LCM is stored in q. Q equals to product of numbers upon the HCF, which is returned from the function. So after this, we are printing HCF equals to k and LCM equals to q. This is what we are doing in the main function. Now let us look at the function. What are we doing in the function? When I use this statement, ob.func m, n, our control moves to the function and m and n are being copied into a and b. This is function call by value. So m will be copied in a and n will be copied in b. Here we have initialized HCF as 1. So this method we are using, if a is less than b, then c will be initialized with a, else c will be initialized with b. Now look, I am sharing another screen with you to show you how this program is running. See, suppose the numbers are 8 and 20. This is the solution. This is the dry run of the program which I have written. Suppose the numbers are 8 and 20. So m will be initialized with 8 and n will be initialized with 20. When they are being passed in the function, a will become 8 and b will become 20. So in the function func, there is a statement if a is less than b. That is, if 8 is less than 20, then c will be initialized with 8. But if it is the opposite case, then c will be initialized with 20. Please see it again here. This case, if a is less than b, c equals to a, else c equals to b. So if I am passing 8 and 20 here in a and b, c will be initialized with a. That is, c will be initialized with 8. Now this for loop is used to find the HCF. We are starting with the value of c. That means whichever is the smaller number, we are starting with that. Because HCF can has to be less than the smaller number. If the numbers are 8 and 20, HCF can never be greater than 8. It has to be either 8 or less than 8. Highest common factor. So we are starting from 8, we are going till 1 in the decreasing order. Then if both the numbers are divisible by I, that means if 8 and 20 both are divisible by 8, in the beginning it is 8, then HCF is 8 and break. HCF is a variable which has been initialized with 1. Otherwise, I will be decremented by 1 and it becomes 7. So the numbers are checked with 7 now. If 8 and 20 both are divisible by 7, then HCF equals to 7 and break. Otherwise, I is decremented to 6. Then it is checked whether 8 and 20 are divisible by 6 or not. If it is so, then HCF equals to I and break. And when we come out of this for loop, it will return the value of HCF. This is how it is done. I will show you the dry run again. You can see over here. For I equals to 8, I is greater than 1, I minus minus. This was the for loop. If 8 mod I double equals to 0 and 20 mod I double equals to 0, then HCF equals to I and break. This is what is written in the program. I have written it separately using the values so that you can understand it better. I hope you have understood this. Let us move to the program again. This was the program. Have a look at the program. If you have any doubts in any of the parts of the program, you may ask me. Otherwise, I'll execute the program and show it to you. Anyone who is having any doubts? Anjasi, this is your first class. Do you have any doubts? You can unmute yourself and speak.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let me execute this program and show it to you. I'll go to command prompt. The name of the class is LCM. Java C LCM dot Java. There are no errors. Java LCM. Let us take the same two numbers 8 and 20. See, HCF is 4 and LCM equals to 40, which is correct. So the program is absolutely correct. Let us take some numbers like this 6 and 3. HCF is 3, LCM is 6. If I enter different numbers like 2 and 15, 2 and 15, then HCF is 1 and LCM equals to 30. There is no common factor amongst them, 2 and 15, so HCF will be 1 and LCM will be the product of the two numbers. This is how we are executing our program, and I have written this program to calculate the HCF and LCM using a function. If you want to copy it, please do so. If you want to take a screenshot, I will first take off this page and I'll move to the next page. Do it fast so that I can move to the next program. Anyone having any doubts here? What have you written on the scene, ma'am? If we use break statement, does that the compiler brings us out of the block? Yes. If I do not write break statement, it will check for the rest of the values of I. But if we have found such value of I which is by which A and B both are divisible, what is the point in checking the rest of the values? So we have to write break statement. As soon as we get the HCF, we do not have to check the rest of the values of I. So we have to write break. Okay, for A greater than B, you want another thing. Dhara, give me two values which you want to check. I will compile this program again.
Ma'am, 25 and 7.
25 and 7. See, HCF is 1 and LCM is 175. And if you take 25 and say 5, then HCF is 5 and LCM is 25. In the if statement, it is written if A is less than B, then C equals to A. Otherwise, C equals to B. So if A is greater than B, then C will be initialized with B. You can see it here in the program. So there will not be any problems in this program. See here. If A is less than B, then C equals to A, else C equals to B. So I loop will always start from the smaller number of the two. If you take the numbers as 25 and 5, it will start from 5 till 1. It will never start from 25 till 1. Okay? Have you understood, Dhara?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubts to anyone else in this program? Have you written it? Have you written this function? Write the mail quickly. Kashish, write fast. Take a screenshot, children, so that I can move to the next program. Done? Kashish, are you through with the program? Have you completed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us move to the next one. Copy this question now. Write a program to accept a word and pass it to a function. Arrange all the letters of the word in its alphabetical order and display the result. You have to enter a word in main, you have to pass it to a function. And in the function, you have to display the word in alphabetical order of its letters. I hope you have understood the question. If the word enters is Kashish, then output should be A. A comes first. After that, H comes, then I, then K, then S. This should be the output. If the input is this, then the output should be like this. In alphabetical order of the alphabets. So let us have a look at this program. I have again used the util package. Class name is alphabet. Now there is a function A here, which we will be discussing later. First we will go to main. A very small main function has been made here. First of all, I have declared a variable W of string type, a scanner class object SC, a class object OB to call the function. Then enter a word W equals to sc.next, and simply using the object of the class, we are calling the function A and passing the word W to it. W is being passed as parameter here, which will go in the variable word. This is the receiving parameter. This is the formal parameter, and W is the actual parameter. So actual parameter will be copied into the formal parameter word. In this word, everything is to be done. This is the function now, void A. I have declared a variable ch of character type, also some integer variables I, j and l. L is used to calculate and store the length of the variable word. So word.length will be initialized in L. Now I have given a message. The letters of the word in alphabetical order are. We have started from ASCII value 65 till ASCII value 90 to check for all letters of the alphabet in capital letters. Okay. Next, what I am doing, I am starting from index number 0 going till less than L. The length of the string is L, so index number will start from 0, it will go till L minus 1. This is one way to write J is less than L. If you don't want to write it like this, you can write it as J is less than equal to L minus 1. It means the same. Whether you write J is less than L or you write j is less than equal to L minus 1. It is the same thing. Now this ch will be storing the character from the string at index number j each time we enter this j loop. So first time it will store char at position number 0. That means the 0th character will be stored in the variable ch, and this if statement is going to compare with all characters of the I loop. See what we are doing? I is 65. 65 has been typecasted into character. It will become capital A. So capital A we are checking with ch. If the first character of the word is A, capital A, or small a, I have done what? I have added 32 to I, so it becomes 97. 97 को character type में typecast करेंगे तो small a आएगा, and I को character type में typecast करेंगे तो capital A आएगा. So we are checking the first character of the word with capital A and small a. If it is so, then you have to print it. If it is not so, you will go to the next character of the word. That means J will be incremented. Capital A and small a वर्ड के हर कैरेक्टर के साथ कंपेयर होगा. अगर A हारा है तो सिर्फ A प्रिंट होगा, बाकी कुछ प्रिंट नहीं होगा. So A will be checked with every character of the word. If it is the same, then it will be printed. If it is not the same, whether it is capital A or small a, कोई सा भी हो सकता है, so it will be printed. If it is not so, it will not be printed. Is it clear? Then we move to I. I will become 66. That means we are referring to the character B. Then again we will start from index number 0 and go till L minus 1. Every character will be stored in the variable ch one by one, and it will be compared with char I. That means it will be compared with capital B and small b. If it is same, then it will be printed. If it is not same, then we move to I equals to 67. In this way, we are comparing and printing characters alphabetically. Have you understood this, children? Have you understood why I have the I loop outside and the j loop inside? For every value of I, that means for I equals to A, for a character A, it will compare each character of the word. The word which we have entered is Kashish. So it will compare K with A, then it will compare A with A, then S, then H, I, S, H. Wherever it is found that the characters match, that character will be printed. If A comes one time, it will be printed. If it comes two times, it will be printed twice. Next, it moves to I equals to 66. That means character B. It will compare character B with all characters of the string, of the word. If it is present, then it will be printed. If it is not present, it moves to the next iteration and I increases its value by 1 and becomes 67, and so on. So this is how this program is executing. Should I show you the output now? Do you have any doubts here? The name of the program is Alphabet. I'll move to command prompt. Java C alphabet.java. Java alphabet. Enter a word. I'm entering the same word. See the letters of the word in alphabetical order. This is the answer. Can you all see, children? Any other word? I am writing Dhara. There are 3 A's here. See, letters of the word in alphabetical order. 3 A's are written in the beginning, then the letter D, then H, then R. This is how it is printed. So have a look at the program again. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Soha, have you understood this program? Manasvi? Okay. Write it quickly. Yes, we did not use break here because we wanted to compare every letter of the name. Exactly. If we use break here, then it will not compare to the next letter. Break is used to come out of the loop, but we do not want to come out of the loop. We have to compare with every letter. In your name, Dhara, there are 3 A's. If we had used break here, तो जब पहला A यहाँ पर कंपेयर होता, यहाँ पर पहला A कंपेयर होता, उसके आगे बाकी दोनों A's तो कंपेयर ही नहीं हो पाते, isn't it? So we do not use break. We have to write all A's in the beginning. After that, the rest of the letters. So we will not use break in this case. Should I move further? This is the rest of the program. Copy it if you are doing so. So some of you must have given consent. How many of you will be coming to school from tomorrow onwards? Kashish, okay. Who else? Kusha. Anyone else? Sneha. Fine. Just the 3 of you out of these 17 children. Okay. Have you written this program, children? Let us move to the next. So I have written here 2 programs which I want you to practice. You may copy them quickly. I'll just explain them to you. An automorphic number is the number which is contained in the last digits of its square. For example, the number 5. Its square is 25. Square के last digit में देखो 5 आ रहा है. So 5 is an automorphic number. Similarly, 25 इसका square क्या होता है? 625. 25 is present in 625 in the last digits. So 25 is an automorphic number. So we are going to write a program to enter a number like this and check whether it is an automorphic number or not. We are going to use functions that returns the number of digits available in the number. Function में सारा काम नहीं करेंगे, सिर्फ number of digits count करेंगे and return करेंगे. Why are we going to count the number of digits? Because अगर number 25 है, तो इसका square क्या होता है? Square क्या होता है? 625. If there are 2 number of digits in the original number, then last की 2 digits में ही आना चाहिए square में. If there is a single digit, तो इसका square क्या है? 25. If there is a single digit, 5, तो एक ही digit में आना चाहिए 25, last digit में. So how are we going to move about in this? Any idea? Any guesses? Please answer, children. कैसे करेंगे? If we enter a number which is having 2 digits, then what are we going to do?
Ma'am, we will use math.power function, and ma'am, we will take the power of 10 and we will divide it, and we will consider the remainder of it.
We will not take a power of 10. How? That is what I want to ask.
Ma'am, we will use while loop and then we'll take out the number of digits and then we will use the use it as a power.
How? Math.power 10 comma number of digits. If the number of digits is 2, then 10 comma 2. That means we will be dividing with 100. 10 to the power 2, that is 100. And if the number of digits is 1, we will take math.power 10 comma 1. That means number of digit is 1. So in this case, we will be finding the remainder using 100, and in this case, we will be finding the remainder using 10. It all depends on the number of digits. If the number of digits is 3, then we will be dividing by 1000. If the number of digits is 4, then we will be dividing by 10,000. Is this point clear? You have done this program earlier also. Do you remember in class 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll be doing the same program using functions. It will be a practice for you. Next question. Accept 10 different names in a single dimensional array. Pass the array to a function and arrange them in alphabetical order by using bubble sort. Display the arranged names. You have done bubble sorting, selection sorting, linear search, binary search, everything in class 10. You have done using arrays also. Integer arrays and string arrays. Here we are dealing with string arrays because you have to enter 10 names. Which function are you, when you compare integer arrays, you directly use the equal to operator. But when you compare strings, which function do you use?
Compare to or equals also.
Correct. We will be using the compare to function or the equals function. So this is how we are going to do. The loops will be the same. What are the loops for bubble sorting? The loops are for I equals to 0. Then I is less than 9, I plus plus. Then the inner loop will be j equals to 0, j is less than 9 minus I, j plus plus. In integers, we used to write if array at position j is greater than array at position j plus 1. Here what we are going to write? If name at position j dot compared to name at position j plus 1 is greater than 0. Here what you are going to write? If the array name is name, suppose you have declared a string name equals to new string, let me say for 10 names. While comparing, the loops will be the same. For I equals to 0, I is less than 9, I plus plus. For j equals to 0, j is less than 9 minus I, j plus plus. Inside the inner loop, you will be writing the statement if name at position j dot compared to name at position j plus 1 is greater than 0. What will happen if it is greater than 0? If it is greater than 0, it means that the first name is greater than the smaller name. Then we are going to take a temporary variable and interchange the two names. Swap the two names to arrange them in ascending order. Have you understood this line? If it is less than 0, it means the first name is smaller than the second name. If it is greater than 0, it means name at position j is greater than the second name. If it is equal to 0, then it means both the names are equal. I hope you remember the compare to function, children. So this is how you're going to compare two names. Will you be able to do these two questions by yourself? Those who are coming to school, take it as homework. You will be doing the practicals in front of me. Those who are not coming to school can do it at home. There is no problem. And if you have any problems, you can give a message in the group and I will show you the output and the program. I hope this thing is clear to all of you. I'll be doing the same practicals with you in the school as well as home. So you will not lose anything if you don't come to school, don't worry. But those who are not having laptops or a computer or are not able to do these practicals at home will get an opportunity to ask me directly in school. That is only one advantage, that you can ask me face to face all your problems. So those who are coming to school tomorrow, please jot down all your problems in any of the chapters. Whatever chapters you have problems, jot down your problems and you can ask me in school tomorrow. Those who are not coming to school can ask me in the group. I will open the group now and you can give your attendance and later on do these questions and ask me if you have any problems. Thank you, children. That's all for today. Any doubts in these two questions, you can ask me now. It seems that nobody is listening. You're not responding. Anjasya, do you have any doubts? Alicia?
No, ma'am.
Ash, Rani Khan, Arpita, Asba,
No.
Komal, Kusha, Manya, Manasvi, Nimisha, Renuma. Everything is clear? Okay. Thank you, children. That's all for today. Do these two questions and you can send your doubts in the group if you have any. Thank you.